Okay, everybody. So I'm just playing to you guys, Jay and Tim. Um, I've actually, yes, it's still on the tracking here. So that's kind of mad. You can disable that and not have it if I wave, for instance. There is different, there's actually even an option that I can put stickers on this back wall here, and it goes to what's called whiteboard mode, and it'll move the camera and jump over to that square that I'd set up as a whiteboard. You put a like on there. Thank you. We can hear you, and there is no echo. So this is actually. So I wonder if the entire first stream and second stream that this microphone was only picking up the laptop desktop microphone. I'm just curious if that was the case on the first ones or not. We can hear you and there's no echo. That's just. And then how about the 4K? Do you see the option for 4K? I wonder. Now, before I switched from the Insta app, it was definitely on the full setting. So it's definitely on the right setting before it jumped over. If that makes sense. It's kind of crazy that you can't do anything once you've started. I guess that's just the way it does it. It's that kind of processor. If that makes sense. So there is no 4K, but before I chose it, so basically you set up the Insta desktop app. Could have been the laptop microphone. Yeah, that's just mad that was the case. By the way, England and USA, it's 0-0 at halftime, so we're not missing anything. So I wonder if the entire stream I had the microphone here and it wasn't the right microphone setting, that would have happened because I switched the USB sockets, and maybe it detected the USB of the camera. And there is a microphone built into this, but you can basically unselect it, if that makes sense. Audio sounds like a studio mic in front rather than the laptop. Yes, because it's a standalone microphone. So as long as I move around with it with me, it works perfectly fine. But the minute I do this, it shouldn't pick up the volume very well. But if I bring it back, it does it perfectly well, if that makes sense. I think you understand totally. You guys are far more knowledgeable than the average person in the world. I know you guys are. I'm not sure. You guys know that. So thank you. Can hardly hear you when you are away. Yes, because it's very specific, these streaming microphones, I guess. That's the whole thing. Like when my wife's here and she stands off to the side, it's not is an omnidirectional microphone where it does this. It's just basically the single person speaking. So a second person can't speak off camera. Right. So if I move that away, so for instance, if Jen's standing here and I would be here, it's not picking up her volume at all. So that's where I'd have to use the wireless microphones, which I've got no worries kind of doing. Yeah, so that's switched off now. But camera 3, camera 2. So I'm just going to reset those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put... I've got a pole that I can attach to the desk that I can set up behind the laptop here. And I might actually move the laptop to the side now because I'm not going to use the streaming camera. And then I'll set this up as the in between the center of the two screens. So, this is a unidirectional microphone. Right. Understand. Unidirectional. Uni is 1, isn't it? I'm not sure. I can't remember the differences, but I know what you mean. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so just to tell you, yesterday a supermarket chain in Russia basically paid for my trip to St. Petersburg for the day. So they gave me the flight, hotel. We went to one of their supermarkets to see their bakery. And we had all the press was there. So there was bloggers, loggers, TikTokers, Instagrammers, the whole lot. And we had like a meeting with one of the bosses of the company, like big bosses. And they provided me a private translator for the day who basically stood by my side most of the day and just talked in my ear about what they were saying in Russian, which was pretty cool. And then they took us to a bread factory, which provides the bread for the supermarket. So basically they call it Eurobake. I think you guys call it Eurobake. In Australia, we call it Eurobake or par-baked. So the bread factory prepares the bread 80% ready. And then it comes to the supermarket basically frozen. And then they put them in ovens and then they cook them for about 15 minutes. And then they're put out for sale there and then. So, and then after we went there, after the factory, then we went for a basically never-ending lunch and dinner until we got in a car and went to the airport and flew back, which is crazy. And the other guy that flew to this other city on the far east of Russia, the plane had an emergency, and one of the passengers, I don't know if they had a heart attack. He wasn't sure. And the captain basically did a forced landing at another airport in Kazan. And the ambulances came to take the person away, which is just mad. So, yeah. I'm not sure. I can be with your private... I can be your private interpreter if you can figure out how not to use Telegram during YouTube chats. Trip sounds wonderful. A new video is needed as subscription stalled a bit. Yes, so there is going to be... So part of me going there for the trip was for me to make a video talking about how the supermarket company produces their own, has bread produced for them that they then sell as fresh bread, if you like. So I filmed at the supermarket, I filmed at the bakery, and they want me to make a video in return for the trip, which of course, I would have loved to do it even without them asking, but yeah, so yeah, definitely not to use Telegram so that I can be on the phone with you. Yeah, right. No, I understand. Right. Not to use. Yeah. Okay, I understand. Yeah, this guy yesterday was a really cool guy. Like, that quite a few asked for buying or renting the properties. Yeah, the problem with that is, almost anybody you speak to at any real estate agent, it's near impossible that anybody speaks English. So yeah, that's the thing. I'd love to find, there's a couple of local real estate agents and none of them speak English, like even barring a few words. And I really want to try to do like the tour, like you told me about going over to Vesna. Vesna's across the highway from where I live. There's a highway that separates Aprelivka with Vesna. And it's kind of a new build area with these apartments. And the funny thing was, when I made the video at MVideo, walking around that electronics store, the guy there who was one of the bosses lives at those apartments in Vesna. I could be an interpreter on the phone. I understand. Pinulai. I'm Pinulai. Yes. Now, I'm not sure. If you want, I can see if I can unlist this now and put it live. Or do you think I should just call it a draw now with the fourth live stream? Yeti Penyamaya. Oh, Yai Penyamai. I understand. I think that's right. It's a lot easier to think you know the Russian than to read the Russian. So yeah. So basically, we think. See, I've got to wonder. This StreamYard says that it has 4K output. Many people are still waiting. I think that would be sad if you did not. I know Russian. Yeah, right. So let me see now if I can unlist this, and I'll put it as public. Done. Travel and events, playlist, live streams, and then let's see if anybody jumps in now. So it'll be interesting from here. Please repeat about StreamYard. Yeah, so the app that I'm using, StreamYard, when I went to go do the first live stream, it basically said that it needed the like the premium version for the 4K, and it said that you have an option for 7-day trial, and that's what I clicked. So so basically I put the free 7-day trial before I went live, but I'm curious if it doesn't pick it up or not. So, and in the gist of me moving the camera to think I've got it wrong, there we go. We can correct that a tiny bit now. Is it down or up? This one, up. There we go. Did I get any ID for StreamYard? No, that's what I think. Did they send me an email? No. Just my water bill came through for my apartment in Australia. How to monitor? Okay. Wow. So yeah, so 2 viewers. So there's 2. Are you guys on 2 different streams? And it's not. Sometimes registration might be via email or something. Yeah, perhaps an email. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there's 4 people here now. Well, there we go. Somebody's found it again and kind of happy, I think. Yeah, I'll have to check. Oh my. I don't know. What's the other email called? Gmail. Yeah, it's probably there. And it makes. No. Jasper. No, that's all rubbish emails. So possibly they just delayed sending the email, if that makes sense. I got tickets today for a bus convention one day next week. By the way, 12 people are here. And if you guys are here live, yeah, I'm going to go to a bus convention next week. We have 4 of us here. Yes, thank you. Thanks for coming back, everybody. I don't know if the sound is better. We think it is, and I've got it working. Oh, we're only 1 person. Okay, so you guys didn't open. I thought maybe you had 2 different streams. So yeah, thank you, anybody that's. Hi, Russell, from the city of Nizhny Novgorod. Здравствуйте. Hello. Something up, and he will join on separate machine. Okay. Hello. Hi from Russia. Yes, I'm in Russia also. So that's really cool. Thank you, everybody, whoever's come to join this 4th time lucky stream. I might just make sure I've got the description of the video here, because I think I didn't put a description. You have everyone. Yes. Now let's just go back to this one right here. Give me a second, everybody. And I'll just copy this over here. There we go. That's the description fixed. And then I'll just do this donation alerts, which everybody seems to love in Russia. You guys love donation alerts. I didn't think this kind of thing was popular until I started doing streaming. One? No. Can't spell all of a sudden. This is it. There we go. Good luck and bye. Thank you if you're leaving. I'm sorry if I'm... it's really down to me getting... That's the cute version of the kitchen right there, everybody. So... I hope everybody's liked the very disorganized live stream. And if anyone types in Russian, I can't read it. I'm sorry if you... Oh, slow mode as well. That's easier. Customization. That should do that. Please put slow mode on. Oh, now it's going very fast. The sound is better this time. Problem before was that when you were changing, there was a delay with comments showing up. So when people were saying things, I wasn't. Yeah, actually, what I think I had also was I didn't have the microphone default was coming from the new camera. This thing right here. This thing right here is the new camera. And it has a built-in microphone, but you have to choose separate audio on the stream to get the other stream, get both, to do the audio from one and the video from the other. So now it's, oh, they're saying hello. Oh, okay. Здравствуйте, everybody who's new. I found you a week ago. It'll be great to listen your story while you're living in Russia. Now, oh, the camera's low now. Am I sitting down? 3. This one. That's the one. So it has an AI function. Let's see if this one works. There it is. Good luck with the stream. Thank you, Timothy. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Is that... Oh, it's working anyway. So thank you. The camera is fine. Yes. Do you rent a flat and how much? Yes, I do. This is actually a rental place. So so what I'm going to do is I am going to make a completely separate video about my life here in Russia and how it is now and how it evolved. I'm going to go and film something, probably not for a few days because I've got a few things I've got to take care of to get new videos on the channel ahead of that one. So yeah, thank you for the... Now it's going fast. Thank you, Timothy, again. Yes. So yeah, we're renting this place, but we do actually own a place in another part of Moscow. There we go. It's okay. That we rent out to somebody else. Essentially, that's the place of residence that we're registered in here in Moscow, but we live here because we like this town. At the time, the prices were a little bit high in this town, but we like the fact that that's where we live here. So let's drink vodka and make friends with the bears. What's the crack? I've done... This is now the 4th attempt at a live stream to try to get the brand new camera going. Thank you again to people who are doing donation alerts, Sberbank, super chats, all of the things that are basically allowed me not to ask my wife for money, if that makes sense. Oh, Martin Sheehan says hello. Thank you, Martin. Hello. Здравствуйте. Oh, yes. This is up here. Thank you. By the way, J Tulip, thank you. I know you are very nice, but it's overwhelming how nice you are and being to me to get this working right. Yeah, hope to get 100,000 subscribers soon. Yes, that would be very nice. The only thing is that plaque that you're meant to get can't get sent to Russia because they're not mailing things. Because I think they use UPS or DHL, and they're not sending to Russia right now, both of them. So I'll kind of get the plaque at some point, but it will end up in Australia. Keep going. You're a very positive person. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate the translations as well. Say something in Russian. Last night when I was coming back from the airport, I had Yandex taxi, which you order a taxi on, right? And it tells you to input the pickup point outside the arrivals. So it was like pillar A17. So I stood there by A17, and taxis, like kind of, I would say, illegal taxis that that want to basically overcharge you and take tourists and overcharge them. And they kept pulling up, and they're like, "Oh, just jump in." I've ordered the taxi. 2 minut taxi. Это дом. So the taxi's coming to take me to my house. Okay, that's not exactly how you say it, but 2 minut, he's coming. And the taxi driver, one of them pulled over. He got out the car and wanted to speak to me. And I'm like, "Нет понимаю по-русски. И Australia. И такси. 2 minut." And he's like, "Oh, 50-50. I said, "It's not enough. I can't speak to you 50% English and Russian when I've still." And I was showing him the app with the car even coming. It shows you the live track of the car. So hopefully at some point you can start giving your wife some of the money back for all of the support she has shown you. Yes, I guess, Tim, that comes down to what did my wife want today? She wants a rice cooker. She wants a rice cooker. She's made today chicken and rice, and she wants a rice cooker. So yes, that'll have to be that might come before the microwave. It's working well, Russell. Hope all is well in Moscow. Are you still leaving for Russia for work? Well, for now, as long as the YouTube stays successful, I kind of don't need to, if that makes sense. I'm just going to open something here. Where people are sending donations, I don't want to miss that and be unpolite to people. So yeah, everyone join the channel. Yes, please subscribe. Post a good word. Yes, thank you. Oh, cheers from, I was going to say Charinglad. Cheers from Kaliningrad. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, that's all caught up there now. So I've got that screen open and this screen open and lots of screens open. So yes, thank you. Yeah, so the plan was to go back to work on ships. This is about 3 months ago. I don't know when I did that initial stream about deciding between Russia and going back to work. And we had a few challenges that my wife and I had to work through monetarily, I guess is the right word. And obviously the option was to go back to work. And so essentially when you work on cruise ships, you don't pay for anything. So your accommodation is provided, your meals are provided, you get laundry, you even get soap for the shower if you want it. I mean, all you'd really need to generally pay for is personal care items like shampoo, body wash, deodorants, whatever you'd use in the bathroom. You get your laundry done. You get for staff on the ship, you've got a cabin steward. So I can basically work, well, if you can say that, you can work for free and earn money and don't have anything to spend. Obviously, if you get off in the ports, you want to go to the beach, you want to go to shopping, to the mall, you want to go to Walmart, you want to go to a resort in Mexico, obviously you have to pay, right? The minute you step off the ship, you're spending money. So if you stay on board, you save money. That's why a lot of people work on ships, even on merchant ships, passenger ships. It's a good way to save money. Hey, the poor lady, her microwave. Yes. I think she might want the rice cooker more now. I mean, my wife and I, we do eat a lot of rice. We eat quite healthfully, if that's the right word. Thank you to everyone who's here live. It's not intended that this is the 4th live stream of the night, but it just seems to have worked out. Subscribe on Russell's channel. Yes, if you'd like to subscribe. Also, there is a Telegram channel called Traveling with Russell channel. I don't know why I put the word channel at the end. I guess everyone does that. Heating and destroys the food essence. Heating in a microwave. Yeah, I guess it's really more for me, the microwave, not really for my wife. But like, for instance, the KFC that's still sitting behind me here, I could just quickly microwave that for a minute. We wouldn't buy it to cook food. It would be just to heat up food. Quick 1 minute in there, and that's about it. That's the intention of it, really. I'm living in Siberia. Oh, hello. Interesting channel. Thank you for the content. Oh, thank you. Digital Robin, thank you. Sorry, I keep reading Jay's messages, but she's kind of translating some of the Russian ones. So things aren't so good as in Moscow. I would be glad if you showed the reality of supermarkets in the provinces. For example, Armia, Armvir near Moscow. I'm not sure where Armvir is. I can look that up though. Keto is not rice is not keto. My wife said I need to go on a diet. I mean, I do need to drink. If ideally, I just drink less soda or fizzy drinks. I've not really eaten chocolate in 2 days. By the way, just while we talk about chocolate, has anyone got Milka banana bubbly? If you've got it where you live, and you can get it on special as well. Milk has got up a lot in price. I don't, obviously because of everything going on, but if anyone's had that, and they like chocolate and they like bananas and they like Milka. It's the 3 things in life, you know. That's a hell of a camera. Congrats from Siberia. Thank you. Let's do that. I'm not waving. I'm just doing this. And you can actually see the lights. That's how wide angle the camera goes. And then if anybody wants to look out my window, well, it's a bit hard. So this apartment doesn't have a loggia or a balcony like typically they do have. So it's kind of a wider, bigger kitchen. So hello, any stores in sight to visit, or can I throw something at the wall hoping it'll stick? Hello, any stores in sight to visit? I'm not sure of the answer to that question, but it's kind of like 2 questions in one there. So have I ever thought about buying a summer house or a dacha? Yes. My wife doesn't want to, and she'd rather visit our friends' dachas. I think she thinks I'll become too obsessed with it if I get one, like wanting to fix it, wanting to repair it, want to change it. Dachas are kind of a never-ending fix-up. It's kind of summer house probably is more like a house versus a dacha being a dacha. Yeah, there was some abandoned dachas, I guess you'd call it that. Like maybe the grandparents or great-grandparents passed away, and then the family or the younger family inherited it, and then they don't want to obviously deal with it. And where our friend's place was, there was one almost across the road. They're kind of like lanes or country little lanes, and it was going very, very cheap. But obviously, it needed almost everything doing to it, especially cutting down like 6-foot grass, and obviously the cabin that was there or the dacha house needed pretty much demolishing. But yes, I'd love to. I think the whole, you just do a little bit every year, and it gets better every year. Yeah. Oh, you cook rice in the microwave. My mum does it in Australia as well. She buys the microwave rice. It's like in a pouch, and you put it in the microwave and done. My dad doesn't eat rice, so my mum does it just for herself a lot. Hello from Omsk. How long have you been in Russia? I've been here for 9 years, all up. I have traveled back and forward to work a few times. We have traveled back to Australia twice. So, says hello from Peekaboo. I'm not sure where that is. Yes, there is there is a online forum in Russia. I think it's called Peekaboo also. It's very similar to Reddit, if that makes sense. If that might be the one, I don't know, unless that's a place. What do you think of Perknaya? I don't know this place either. Prokinyana? I'm not sure about these. I don't know every place in Russia. That's the only trouble. Honestly and truly, you guys are just typing names in the chat now, and I don't know. Like, I mean, Russia is huge, and I think he explains the process. You won't like it, guys. Yes, microwaves and MRIs. Do you like Perkinana? Oh, chocolate bar banana. Oh, Perkinana. Right, this is the New Zealand chocolate you're talking about. Perkinana. I'm almost certain that's what you're talking about. Yeah, we had that in Australia when I was working doing merchandising, and it was in the chocolate section. I don't think I even had any before, did I? I'm certain I didn't. No. Thanks. Congratulations on your new subscribers. Yes, I think it's kind of doing well. Oh, look at that. Donations alert. Why are you in Russia? Max asks. Thank you for the donation alert, by the way. I wish I could pop these up on the chat, but the way I've got it set up now, I can't. I'm sorry. It should just pop up itself. Why are you in Russia? I met my wife when obviously we weren't married. We were on separate holidays in Thailand, and we met in a karaoke bar. Now, I know I've repeated this story a few times, but basically I went on holiday myself. I was between working on ships before I met my wife. I would typically go to Bali. So I'd fly back to Australia, have a few days or a week, fly to Bali for 1 or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and just go sit in the pool, drink some beer, go to the local bar or cafe down the street. Not go to nightclubs and bars and be all crazy. Just a couple of quiet beers, have a dinner every evening. Generally meet the same people in the same bars as well. And one of the trips I went to Thailand, and I met a Russian guy in a bar. This is how the fate all happened. And he was on holiday separately from me, of course. I just met him randomly, actually in an Irish bar. There's Irish bars everywhere in the world. And one of the nights, he's like, okay, let's go to some more bars after the Irish bar closes, right? They kick you out. You go down then to the go-go bars, they call them in Thailand, in some of them. And, I told him I'm not really into that. These Thai girls come all over you, buy you drinks, buy them drinks. So I said, let's go to a karaoke bar instead. It's much easier, It's just normal people in there. There's not really any Thai girls in there. And we met 2 Russian girls. And my friend Alex didn't want to speak Russian to them because he didn't want to meet Russian girls. He kind of went on holiday to Thailand to get away from Russia, and we met 2 Russian girls. And one was Jenya, my wife, and one was her friend, Zaira. I don't know her full name, but Zaira. So yeah, that was that. And then she invited me to, back then she didn't speak really any English, so I don't know how we ended up getting through. I think just after a few beers, you start thinking you know each other's language. So she invited me to Russia. I went back to work in America first, and then I flew back to Russia, came back to Australia, got my visa, and then came to Russia. The first trip, we kind of had some promises that we set to each other, and it worked out. And we got married. I think it's probably close to 5 years ago now, because I've been here over a year this time. So there you go. You can see any stores from your house window. Can I see any stores? All right. So if you're from Russia, okay. Oh, I can't use the camera because it's just pitch black outside, but I can see the lights for the brand new fixed price, which is kind of like a dollar store or a pound store, which is so randomly built on the side street. I don't know why they put it there, but obviously it's worked. And if I look out to the distance where the train station is, I can actually see the shopping center. If I do this, I can look. And they've just changed the signage now because they've opened Familia, which is kind of a clothing shoe store where they've got everything set up by sizes and all multi-brands. So it's all crazy, crazy choice of clothing, but it's by men, small, medium, large, extra large. In America, I think it's TK Maxx in England. They've got TJ Maxx in America. And it's called Familia here. So Familia, I can see the sign for Lenta, which is the supermarket, called Ribbon or Lenta. I'm not sure what the other sign is because they're on the side of the building, but familiar I can see and Lenta. The Pitorichka, which I filmed in, is in that direction, so I can't see it from the angle of the window. I don't think I could see it at all from. Oh, if I went to the other bedroom window, I could see it because it's a bay window in the next room. So there you go. And then downstairs from our building, there is shops, which I can't see out the window. Straight down. There's such a thing as an Afghan. How's this? Kazan pressure cooker. It's really inexpensive and it works pretty good. I'm quite sure your wife would love it. Oh, I wonder if she knows about that. I mean, I know about pressure cookers. In Australia, we had a slow cooker, which my wife, pretty much only the last few weeks before we came back to Russia, she figured out how to use it properly. She thought it took it's called a slow cooker, right? And she thought it took too long. I'm like, it's obvious. It's obvious that's the case. So, recommend visiting huge market with 3 sections: clothes, tech, and children. What's that name of that place? I can't copy and paste the words to get that into English, but if it might be Sadovot, I know Sadovot. If it might be Lublino, I don't know what the market in Lublino is, but there's one near there as well. There's also one in, well, that one. Sadovot's the main one that I know. Crazy place. Jenny's from Ufa, so she would know them well. The Kazan, okay, I'm going to ask her later, tomorrow now. I wish you good luck in your business. I'm sure that there are so that with a new camera, your videos will be even better. You have your own style. We are waiting for new videos. Yes. The next video I will 100% have ready is of the walk around of GUM GUM shopping center right by Red Square. And actually, the funny thing about it was I met, I don't think the one of them's on there where they say hello to me. They randomly walk past me and say hello, which is just crazy that happened. And then a family I met said hello. And then 2 young guys wanted a selfie and they said they knew the channel. So this is fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, Peekaboo is Russian Reddit. Yeah, I think somebody shared one of my videos. If anyone wants to share on this Peekaboo, of course, it encourages more Russian viewers, but a lot of people seem to have shared the supermarket kind of videos on there. So, oh, Sadovodsky, yes, Sadovod. I didn't actually read down to see that, but yes, it's near impossible, 99.9% impossible to film in Sadovod. It's a pretty cool place to walk around. Jay, if you're coming, when you come to Moscow, I'll happily take you there. And you can be. I wish I took Ben there, the other New Zealand guy. His wife and mum were going to go there to do some shopping, and I wish I took him to show him it because he would have been absolutely gobsmacked. He wanted to go to a fishing store and a camping fishing store, so I went to that instead of, because Sadovot was really the other side of Moscow to this camping shop. So no, not pouch rice. You can cook regular rice. The stuff takes about 10 or 15 minutes. It'd be like a whole new thing. Teaching my wife to use the microwave. Perkinana chocolate from New Zealand. Yes. I know it from when I was working in the supermarkets. Tell us more about Russia. Parks, museums, cars, opera. My gosh. That's a lot to tell you. Please in the chat. Yes, English is very helpful for me to have gatherings with others from Australia. Or do you have a few Russian friends only? Yes, I've met some other Australians. That when we watched the football back in September, I just chat to them online now. They kind of live the other side of Moscow to me. They're also full-time school teachers. It's made out of aluminium. So yeah, I do have a few Russian friends who speak English. A couple of people that live in this town where I am, and others that I've met through YouTube. I created a YouTube channel, a Telegram channel with English-speaking YouTubers. So if you might have seen a couple of videos with me in it where I've kind of done a video with them. Yeah. So many spiders and snakes. How do you stay alive? You learn not to go near them or touch them, or learning from listening from Ramstein. Hence, das is fantastisch. Thank you. Isn't Ramstein an airbase in England somewhere? I guess it's a place in Russia too. Also, Sadavot market is a huge market. 11 square kilometers, has everything you can. Yeah, I don't think I've been there a few times. My wife doesn't like going there, 1000%. But I like it. I like walking around there. I can go there tomorrow, for instance, and just walk around and walk around and walk around. Not really have any intention of buying anything because there's nothing I want. I kind of want things like this, which is actually more than the rent of our apartment. Put it that way, for a month. So, yeah, the problem with the Sberbank is if you've sent, I don't see these because I don't have every application open. I think I've even pressed the wrong button. The other thing too is my Sberbank is 100% all in Russian. So when somebody sends a Sberbank, I can't read the name of the person. So there's actually 2 that came through. Where was the one also? There was one at 1 o'clock today, 4 minutes past lunchtime today, 4 minutes past 1. Sorry. Somebody did one. And then there was one at 9:59 p.m. So that was at 10 p.m. So that was an hour and a half ago. So that was probably during the other stream. And then there was one here just now at 13 minutes past. So yeah, thank you. And then Anonymous is 10 rubles. You missed my Sberbank small donation. Thank you. No, any donation. It's not, I'm not asking for money. It's definitely not something that I'm doing. It helps what I'm doing with the live streams. It helps with the microphones. I don't want to buy, like this arm right here, you can get on AliExpress for about $9 or $10. All right, 500 rubles, 600 rubles, 700 rubles. And they're very inexpensive, cheap and flimsy things that are kind of okay, but they're not great. So I went and spent probably 10,000 rubles instead on getting this Rode PSA-1 boom arm, it's called. I think they're called a pantograph in Russian. Pantograph or pentagraph. So basically a professional boom arm. So I don't want to just buy the cheap thing just for the sake of it. That's why I'd rather get the better quality product. And it kind of is, that's what I prefer to do. And if I can do it without asking my wife, then it works out even better. So the next stage is to basically get a second camera. So I'm filming with this camera. This is my phone, but I've got a special lens that I put on here. But if I can get a second camera or a phone, then I can use that. In the previous live stream, everybody... Oh, I think that was my internet. I can understand your English very well. Why do you speak such way? Thank for Russian subscribers. No, I don't speak to anybody that's Australian to talk Australian. I remember when I went back and watched the football with these guys, there was 4 of us there. And I try to speak a little bit of a more clearer English. I'm not doing it especially for the live stream. I do it on the camera as well. And I meet so many people that don't speak English that I speak a more simpler, clearer conversation so that no matter who it is, they can better understand me. And it just works out better, if that makes sense. Thank you, Max. Yeah, it's not purely just because of people watching. If I would kind of do it to every Australian, I'd really start talking really fast, and you want to understand me, and it gets like that. And that's the way Australians talk. We can almost talk to each other while we're talking to each other, rather than one talking and one listening. We'll be having almost two conversations at the same time. So yeah, a few tips on how not to die from a spider. When you go to the toilet, if you go to a dacha or country house or anywhere remotely, which we don't really have that in Australia, but if you had that, if the dachas in Russia were in Australia, before you go out to the toilet, first you'll need a torch to go out there, right? So you'd look out for possibly, especially in dacha communities, you'd have a lot of snakes in these conditions here. So you'd be worried about that walking out to the toilet across the garden. And then you'd have to lift the seat up and look underneath the seat if there's a spider made a little home under the seat. And then the toilet roll, that might not be hung up, it might be on the side. In our friend's dacha, it's on the side. The spider might have climbed in the toilet roll. So you double check that. And then typically your shoes, you'd shake them in the morning and rattle anything that's climbed in there overnight as well. I know you're not into ice skating, but still worth of filming. Yes, I saw them building it. Yeah, I think it opened. I thought it was the 28th. Maybe it was today. Maybe it opened today, 25th. No, cheap fruit, cheap shellfish. Yes. Yeah, we'll go to Videnhar and film something at night just for a walk around. It gets dark here by 4:30 here, so I can film at 5, 6 o'clock and still be home early, and I can still get that kind of that night feeling of walking there. How's it for me overall? Look, I've been here a lot of years, so I've grown very comfortable to living here. The first 6 months, a year, it's difficult because if you don't know the language, you don't speak it, you get very frustrated that people don't understand you. Excuse me. So it gets easier. And I feel I can just go anywhere on my own. I mean, my wife doesn't need to really help me with things. Only like buying that camera online, she did, because it's hard to just navigate the apps in Russian on the phone. So, have you ever gone to the hospital? Need medical insurance? No. I've been to the hospital once in 9 years. I'm just going to knock on my counter here. In 9 years. And I basically went to climb over the chair at the football stadium to change seats because I was in the wrong row. And the guy that was in the row above that grabbed my hand. He said, "Oh, let me help you over." Completely nice of him to do that. And as I did it, I knocked my other knee on the back of the chair and kind of somehow got home walking. And I was in bed for about 3 days. Went to the hospital, did an X-ray. They said, "Oh, it's okay. Just don't walk on it for too long." And it was weeks where I must have either torn something or pulled something. Didn't break anything. It wasn't broken, but it was. But yeah, my wife somehow paid somebody something somewhere in a room, and I was seen to within 10 minutes of walking in. This is in the public hospital down the road. Have you had the chance to travel much? I went to St. Petersburg yesterday. My wife's from Ufa. We went there last year in the summertime for a week, and we went to her auntie's, and then we also stayed at some chalets by a lake, which was very nice. My wife, Charles, my wife does. She has a nail salon in the building downstairs from us. There's kind of a hairdresser, beautician, and then a nail salon. It's kind of like 3 different areas. And she has her own little private place there that she does by bookings only. So, yeah, Jay is one of the moderators of the channel. There is actually about 6 or 7 moderators of the channel, but they're obviously not always online at the same time. So, just skip because you will see translation later. Yeah. Oh, Savelovskaya. Is it Savelovskaya Market? Savyalovsky Market. I don't know that one. I probably know it if I look it up, but I don't know it. Why is the kitchen so scary? We didn't build this kitchen. We're renting this place. So it's very common in Moscow. If you look at some online rentals, that the kitchens have got some very hectic colors. Yeah, I've been to Ufa. That's pretty much it. What's your favorite Russian dinner? My wife doesn't plov, which is kind of rice with beef. Cheers from Ryzan. Thank you. I really like to watch your videos about Ashan. Yes. I like walking in Ashan. It used to be a great place, and it used to be cheap years ago, probably when I first came to Russia. And I find now gradually it's getting more normal price, that it's not kind of a go-to place to go shopping. It is because it's got everything in there, but it's not convenient for me. It's not close to where I live to go to one. So here will be a video. There will be a video, yes. Yeah, if you send me the link about Savalovskaya in Telegram, then I'll definitely look at it. I keep saying Sadovot instead of Savalovskaya, yes. I've seen some comments about Depot below your videos. I wonder if you're planning on doing a review of Depot or Danilovsky. There is a video of Danilovsky Rynok on the channel. I'm almost certain if you type Danilovsky in the search, once you're in the channel, there is a video about it, 100%. I haven't been to Depot in a while. I went with Ben when Ben came, the New Zealand guy. I took him there. Where they hang out, the Christmas lights. Yeah, New Arbat Street. I know that. Actually, someone suggested that I go to a music store there. It's on the second level of one of the strips where all the cafes and bars are. So that will be my reason to go there to New Arbat Street. I guess Old Arbat as well. It's the same place. I just go to the Globus, which is in Salarevo or Salara Shopping Center. Salarevo metro station is the red line south. So I don't know. I've not been to any other Globus. I'm assuming they're all the same. Rammstein's also a German band. I put that person into... Oh, okay. Yeah, Krasnoyarsk, where the winter's just started. Yeah, I see now on the east it's getting cold, like minus. I just want to experience. I mean, I know it's just cold weather, but just to go there and say I've been there and stand there, and you can slide down hills if you want. They build some of those. There's some for the kids, and they've got those blow up tires or inflatable rings that they go down the. They do it just on the next street from me. They go down the embankment a little bit. They sometimes build one by the memorial here where the church is, and they just basically pile the snow up over time, and they make a slide out of that. Have you ever been to in Marmalade? Word in Moscow. I think you check it. As for me, it's the best one. Have you been to Marmalade? Is the candy store. I've not been in one. Marmaland. Yeah, I think it's Marmaland. Yeah, probably when I go in one of the shopping mall videos, I'll go there and add it into that video because it's kind of the pay-by-weight candy. That everyone loves him in Russia. Everyone loves your videos. Olga wishes she understood English. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I think there's been a little bit of this because of the two TV shows. When I was with this group yesterday in St. Petersburg, people knew me or recognized me from watching. There was one on a Russian channel called 60 Minutes. and then I don't know what the other name was, but it was on NTV channel. There was 2 different shows in the course of a week. So, and I think a lot of people recognize me now suddenly because it just all makes sense, like the loop of speaking English. Why is my kitchen scary? Someone sent a donation alert. Thank you. Let me just do this. I think this is the one. This is basically the kitchen. This is a rented place. So the owners, it's a couple, an older couple. The guy comes once a month to collect the rent. Sorry, it's a preset camera where you can do that, and then I can do that. Sorry, you're going to get dizzy. So, and he comes and he shakes my hand. He speaks in Russian to me for 5 minutes. I just nod and agree. And then he takes the money and goes. And I've kind of offered my wife to suggest if we can buy it from him somehow. Obviously, getting a mortgage, it might be difficult, but and then we quickly paint over the walls. We could probably suggest to him, can we paint them? But I don't know if he'd go for it. So you get used to it. Your eyes it's quite jarring initially. When that film crew came to film in the kitchen, they were all like, oh, it's so bright, it's so lovely, because it's just bright colors. It makes you feel happy sometimes, because when it's gloomy outside, it's still bright in here. If I go to Australia, you'll never buy a Dacia there. No, right. Yeah, they don't really have them, really. They've got some old, well, they don't have that kind of thing. I know exactly what you mean, but thank you so much. Spasiba. It's nice when you have a translator. Yeah, so when I went to this event yesterday in St. Petersburg, they had a translator for me. The guy I kind of met initially spoke English, but not great. And we managed to speak all day about things we had to. But that's the tracking kicked in again when I do that. But yeah, the translator guy was amazing. I mean, I thanked him. I mean, we got some gifts for the place we went to, and I said, take some extra gifts, take some for your kids. He told me about his kids. I will help you. Thank you. I think we're good with the chat, are we? Do you have a car? Maybe your wife does. No, my wife doesn't drive at all. She does want to get her license though, and she just keeps putting off going to do it. I drive only when I do car sharing here, the Belka car. I don't really like driving in Russia because of the craziness of everyone else around me. But I kind of deal with it, get to where we need to go to and get home, and that's it. Zangiv. Здравствуйте. How's it going, Zangiv? My new camera is here and working. This arrived today. I went to the Russia Post. Actually, I should do a video only on the Russia Post because... Is it switched on again? No. They had original Pepsi in there. They've got a little shelf of food and drinks. It was like a little mini mart in the post office. It was quite funny. Zangiv, you can speak English and you're typing in Russian. How nice you joined us. He was talking about you earlier today. Ufa is the capital of Bashkortostan, yes, or Bashkia. People just say Bashkia. Just dropped in when I saw you were live again. Audio excellent, video excellent. Thank you, John. Yes. What we'll do is this was kind of the test, the final test now. I know it's all good now. Again, I hope that the quality is better. I've got one more thing I need to change, I think, via the subscription of this streaming application. And once I've got that fixed, it will be even better. I'm just wondering what he said. He's a very good and honest gentleman. Thank you. Thank you very much, Oleg. Kitchen is funny. I love it. Thanks. Hello from St. Petersburg. Good luck with your channel. Thank you, Mr. Russ. Oh, I guess maybe just typing that. You can choose that, Mr. Russ. Thank you. I was literally there yesterday. I saw it only in a taxi. But it's very nice, the buildings, especially when it's dark and lit up and all the buildings. It feels very different from Moscow. It feels very much older and more authentic, like old buildings, where Moscow has that kind of new modern feel to it. Whereas I think almost St. Petersburg, they don't let you demolish and change anything, especially in the city area. I imagine there's people that live further away that's in more modern places, but in the old part that I was in all day yesterday, it just felt different, like really did feel different. So smart and handsome and so in demand and just the top chap in the whole world. Thank you, Zangiv. I should be studying the language. I watched your video of your apartment, by the way. You're remodeling your apartment. It was cool to watch, showing around the pre-construction when it's, before all the walls are up. Here is the question: is in the algorithm there would be no impressions for the audience, but there would be no views from Russia. I think that's right. Russell is our teddy bear. You meanie, but we love you. Thank you. Jay, stop translating Zangiv's comments. He can speak English very clearly. Hello from Russia. Yes. What time? Okay, let's stop soon because I'm thirsty and I'm hungry. I'm not really tired, but I'm thirsty and hungry. There's no cheaper. Yeah, Globus is no cheap place either. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, there is obviously specials. I mean, look, I bought this today at Lenta for 69 rubles. And then I bought the 2-liter Baikal, which is on the floor over here, for 99 rubles. So yeah, if you kind of manage to sort of go to a couple of different places, you can get the specials in one store, specials in the other, and it kind of balances out. I mean, even in Globus, I'll only buy enough in one bag to carry home on the bus. So I'm not doing like a big shopping there as such, if that makes sense. He's saying that your wife is not worried as you cannot speak much Russian. Do we have a Vurskil? I will say Vurskil. I always say Vurskil wrong. We call it the green shop. Basically Russian Whole Foods. If you can get to find one, try rye kvass from Panzer Brewery called Sveni. It's amazing. I'm not a big lover of kvass. They actually, when I laughed about the Pepsi in the post office today, they're like, "Oh, kvass is next to it. No worries, you don't need Pepsi." Yeah, we do have this. My wife and I call it the green shop. I'm going to green shop to go shopping. We just name it that. It's a lot more hectic. There's essentially, in Australia, we all follow the road rules, or 99% of people do, 95. Here, a lot of people don't indicate changing lanes, don't indicate turning off, don't indicate turning across traffic. People just change lanes however they like. It does seem to work a lot, but there is a lot of accidents here, a lot. You could almost see one every day going up and down Kiev Highway, Kiev Shusay, my highway to go back to Moscow. In Australia, people are much more skilled drivers, although there is idiots and lunatics and cuckoo people. It's very, 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 very different. I mean, even in St. Petersburg, they're in the center there they've got the trams running all around the center as well, and how people handle going over the tram tracks and not blocking the trams when they come to traffic lights. I don't know how they deal with that on top of it. The first Dacia appeared Peter the Great. He gave their suburban estates to government officials for the service of the state, and so that official would not go far for their estates. Yeah, my wife's friend's mum got hers through work, where she worked for most of her life. They basically gave dacha land, I don't know if that's what you call it, to each of their employees in this kind of community area where she lived, well, where they live in summertime. To give. Oh, dacha is to give. Thanks, Vitali. That makes complete sense, because a lot of people kind of hand them down through the generations, I guess, or where people acquired them through work, or like you say, through government and stuff like that. Ruzia. Zimoy. Ruzi Kosho. Zimoy Rosi Kosho. You can just say anything to serious. Yeah, thank you everybody for whoever's done donation alerts tonight. I know we've done now 3 streams. Say, oh my gosh, Kuzna i točka. Kuzna i točka. I can't say the words where they're all. You need to spell them out a little bit. Kuzna i točka. Tasty and that is all, or tasty and that's it. Yeah, I'm going to scroll past everyone's comments so I don't have to, so I can catch up. It's funny in Moscow, however, they think about small villages where there might be only mini markets around with Russian post office amounts. Yeah, the little mini market inside the post office. I think it's just fun. How the devil are me? I'm very well. Hello from the UK. Yes, it's been a bit of a long night trying to get this live stream set up better. England, can I speak? No. How do you feel about taxes in Russia? Well, I don't really have a job, so I don't really have the involvement in that. My wife deals with hers. She doesn't really like all the paperwork that she's got to run around and do. So, I mean, taxes included in purchases here, so it's not noticed as an add-on of a price like it is in America. So, what do you think about Russian? A lot of questions about Russian railways. I like catching the train. I've not done any long distance trips, but I like catching trains. I think it's just quintessential Russia. Quintessential. Yeah, 25 million people in Australia, about the same amount in Moscow and the suburbs. Yes. Yeah, not far off that amount. Is the current World Cup a thing in Russia, or is it cancelled? No, it's on television, definitely. When I landed in the plane and came through the arrivals, there was a cafe right when you walk through the arrivals, and it was showing the Brazil game, and there was a couple of guys watching it, a couple of taxi drivers watching it. So we kind of just talked about football for a few minutes. It's probably not nearly what it was 4 years ago. That's definitely not. I have a nice apartment. Yes. I mean, it's a little bit bright colored. I mean, it definitely wouldn't be what my wife and I would choose. We'd be much more modest. Let me show you. If you guys are interested, I'm going to actually... thank you, Anonymous. Never mind, you have a cool kitchen. Thanks. Now, just talking about kitchens, thank you for the donation alerts. I hope I can pull this picture up, because it would be fun if I can. It'll be kind of not fun to show these 2 kitchens in 2 pictures, but where is the other picture? Where is the other picture? Come on. Oh, this one. All right, so let's do this. And I hope this kind of comes out on the screen. What happened? Well, it's not really ideal, but that's kind of close. I don't have a vertical picture. But thanks for your broadcast. Thank you, whoever's saying good night there. I appreciate watching. I am going to wind up. Have you been to Murmansk region? If not, then go and visit. It's awesome. No, I haven't been. I went to St. Petersburg for the first time yesterday, and I saw it in a taxi. That was the extent of it. Now, if I just do screen sharing here, just drag that up, share screen. Now, hopefully this will work, because if it is, it's kind of cool. So, on the left here, this one right here, is the current kitchen in our studio. If anyone's seen the studio video, that's the current kitchen in there. Okay, that's a fridge, by the way, shorter than the size of an oven. Yes, my camera's got AI, so it does follow me. I've got it switched off. I think it kind of gets a bit worrying when it does that. So that's the current kitchen right there. I've measured it up. Now, what I did was I scoured all of the real estate websites like Cian and Avito has it as well. And I inputted like studios less than 20 square meters. And exactly the same layout, exactly the same space. This is the kitchen that we want to get. So basically, a guy in the building where this apartment is, this is the one that my wife bought, by the way. It's in a completely other part of Moscow. But this is what my wife and we've decided we want to do to the kitchen. So probably for now, though, we won't replace the fridge like that it has, but we'll just carry that fridge over, but we'll have the space empty there. But we'll do exactly what this one is right here with these white cupboards and this white bench. And I think it'll look okay. What do you guys think? I know there's kind of two different kitchens you're looking at there completely. But the guy that was living there before my wife bought it, he'd lived there for quite a few years. And he was completely happy with whatever you're seeing in that picture. He was living alone. He was an older guy. He just probably slept there, went to work, came home every day. And that's how it's ended up, if that makes sense. So, yes, let me go back to me. Let me just close a couple of screens. Lots of screens. Yes. Camera looks very good for the future. Sorry, camera. I'm reading the comment above. Kitchen looks very good for the future. Do something to hide the extractor tube and maybe a cupboard over the fridge. Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. The cupboard over the fridge and the extractor. I didn't know. I've seen the one that we've got in our place here. Now, this is the crazy thing. That cupboard there, the actual extractor is above. It's hard for me to know that, but the extractor is over here. It's got to go here. So this is actually not even connected. It's just an empty hole in the cupboard. Believe that or not. So yeah, the kitchen looks very nice. The left image might need to hide the extractor fan ducting. Yes, I just need to look at that now while you're both talking about it, because it's making me wonder what I was looking at. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it basically ducts into the cavity between the bathroom and the kitchen, like this one does here. But this one's not even got the tube hooked up. So it does. It basically just draws the air into the cupboard. Yes, I'm just looking at the picture now that you're talking about it. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully the guy that's going to do this with us, he can do it all in one day, he said, which I kind of doubt, but Russian style. He's basically a builder, the guy that does all apartment remodeling. So fast food is honest. It is good and tasty. And that's it. Yes, tasty and that's it. Yeah, the fridge needs to be bigger. Yeah, that's when we We didn't choose that fridge in the picture of the existing apartment, but yes, it's very tiny. Yeah, the full size fridge is, just to give you a bit of perspective, it's cheaper than this camera was. So I was thinking that maybe like at that DNS store in the back where I did the full walk around, they had a lot of like display model fridges. And the same in Australia. You can go to stores that have discounts on display models. So maybe we can get a cheaper full-size fridge, cheaper. Or somehow filters and vent into the kitchen rather than outside, then ducting outside. Yeah, it would duct into the kind of the cavity. Because quite often when there's quite a breeze, there's the ducting fan here spins. Don't have any tools. My IKEA toolkit, you know, the one that everyone's got, can't build a kitchen. Oh, thank you. About the microphone. Yes. Yeah, we worked it out eventually. Yes. It all comes down to the USB plugs, not realizing I didn't have enough plugs to plug it into. And it wasn't defaulting to the microphone like it does when I didn't have the camera. So, yes. Thank you to whoever's just done a donation alert. Thank you. Test. Yes, I did a lot of test on the microphones. Testing. And my wife jokes and mimics it in the other room a lot when I'm doing the microphone testing. She goes, tasting. 1, 2, 3, tasting. So thank you, Test, for the test. Oh, 119 likes. Yeah, I've got the other screen open, so I don't see the likes. Thank you if there is likes. Yeah, thank you about the microphone working. On what place do you work? And say, please, Yana Salah. Yana Salah? Yana Salah. I think that's right. I don't work. I do YouTube. Interesting meeting a YouTuber yesterday. Basically a food YouTuber. He does food tasting and food eating. Every guy's dream, right? And he talked about it as a job. And I've never really talked about it, what I do as a job. Probably until now a little bit, where I've realized that there's more to it than what I've been doing. So it's always brown, white, or beige. Yeah, go on some of the websites where you can look at houses for rent or for sale, or apartments. I've just done it again. It's very good how it does that. It's a bit creepy, but it's very good. I'm going to travel outside of Russia. I've done that for the last more than 20 years. So if I do, then I will. I've been recently in Moscow. Was remembering Russell and Globus on Solarevo metro station. Unfortunately, time was pressed. I was remembering that Russell and Globus. Oh, you saw me there, or you saw the video. I think maybe you saw me there. I repeated a couple of times about the ducting. Sorry. French door with knock is a really nice fridge. Yeah, we're going to need just a narrow, skinny fridge. No fancy kind of fridge. The Wi-Fi seems to be... Oh, what's going on? Stream health is excellent. Settings are excellent. That's switched off. This is switched off. That's closed. I think everything's just getting warm from using it a lot today. More testing. Thank you for... what do you think about touching statues at Pločet Revoluce? As I see you became very famous and get more income from YouTube. So statues worked well. Yeah, it's actually when I made that video, I actually had notes, and it's probably the only time I've written notes about making a video. And I'm surprised no one can see the piece of paper in my hand, because I had to remember a few things when I was walking in there. Do I believe in it, I guess, is what you're asking? And the kind of fables or the truths about touching things. I mean, I guess it kind of worked if you think of it that way. I kind of have like that wish that I wish someone would buy me a phone, or I mean, I don't really need a new computer, but what I do want to get is not use my laptop. I want to get a desktop box, like a PC that I could hook up all this setup to and not have to use my laptop to use the computer, if that makes sense. And that would be something that I want to do. And I've noticed that there's a few one of those like micro PCs, the mini PCs that I could get, and then I wouldn't have to use my laptop, and I could just use the monitors. Yeah, that's kind of the thing that I'd rub. You know how you make a wish for your birthday, or like where you rub the different statues, each one has a different meaning. I guess I would kind of wish for a computer. I'm a bit scared of going to like Garbushka, where they've got all the computer shops there, and feeling like, because I don't speak Russian, that I'm going to get ripped off, sort of thing. I really need to take somebody who's a computer guru who speaks English, Russian, and help me with it, you know? Thank you, everybody. How much worse is life in Russia than in a... How much worse is the life in Russia than it is in America? It's not a difficult question to answer. It's how you want to answer it and how people want to interpret it. I mean, if you look at some of the gun violence in America, the hate crimes in America, the lack of support for returning veterans in America, the lack of money that's put into schooling and healthcare in America, it's not good. The amount of people that are homeless, who are struggling in America, is a lot. And that's not shown on any television. It is in a little way in documentaries, on YouTube videos, but it's perceived that all of America is great and perfect and good, but a vast majority of the percentage of people aren't. I mean, I would say that very much the average person in Russia here has a better life. I mean, it's hard to count, you know, -5 degrees and snowing outside now. It's snowing, by the way, as better. But, you know, the ability to be able to buy things and afford things, and the low cost of electricity and water, heating, phone, for instance, is more manageable to live off a lower salary. But there's a lot of people that struggle more in America, I would say, in a considered an absolute first world country, than people struggle here. I mean, of course, in the far away places, there is people that don't live, you know, in suitable housing. I know that. But I think as a whole, the majority of Russians have a better life, if that's... It's not an easy answer or question to answer. I'm sorry. Kaliningrad, I invite you and your wife to come over. I can provide accommodation, transport, and I can help to make a video. Wow. I don't know Kaliningrad. Kaliningrad? Wow, thank you for the offer, Oleg. That's very nice of you. I got acquainted with Moscow stores due to Russell. Thanks. Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's no chance of these French door fridges in Russia, not in apartments in the size that we live in, by the way. Have I been to I've not been anywhere except Ufa, and yesterday in St. Petersburg for a few hours. Also, can you say Yasha Lava? I think that could be bad words. Don't let me say bad words, everybody. If it is, sorry. Your bunny wrote, "Translate, please." If you knock on the door, you can see inside without opening it. Oh, the ones with the like this. I've seen these. I've not seen one physically in real life, but I've seen them on TV and stuff like that. Yeah, no chance that'll fit. No, I can skip. Yeah, skip all the. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't experience, you're talking about poverty. I don't experience that in my day-to-day life here. I mean, I live very minimally. I live very basically in this small town where we are. I don't experience it, so I can't really talk about it. I mean, I don't have an opinion about it to talk about it. Do you interact with your wife? It seems like she also speaks English a little. Yes. How do you interact? Yes, she speaks English completely finely. We interact, we talk, we yell, we fight, we argue, we make up. I was overwhelmed that the city smelled like pee and sweat. Wasn't impressed. Yes. Yeah, the metro here is basically gold standard, and then you go to the ones in America like in Boston and New York, and it's nice because it sounds like the subway they call it in New York, and you're like, it's horrible. You don't want to be there. What about hockey? Do any Russians care that we've been banned their hockey teams from all over the events? Our worlds are in December. I'm not sure about in terms of the Russian team, but look, the national competitions still go on here. I know the Russian football team was playing a couple of friendlies right now during the World Cup against CIS countries. I'm not sure if that's gone ahead or not, what schedule that was. That was an honest answer, Russell. You won't find that kind of poverty in Russia. Yeah. No, I don't. We talked about this yesterday with the people I traveled with. And no. It's a joy listening to you talk. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. That's very nice of you. Oh, you just said something very bad. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Why don't I sleep? I'm going to leave now, by the way. Look, it's exactly 90 minutes in 90 seconds. Hi, by the way, to the last person who said hello. I went to St. Petersburg for a week with the Danish foreign minister for Victory Day. Wow, that would have been cool. To travel with people, dignitaries and stuff like that. This man is a total gourmet. Thank you. I think that's good. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Now, this is the 4th live stream of the night. Pretty much because I was excited to get the camera working right here. Next step is to get a different phone for a camera for doing more filming, especially that's got a nice wide angle lens that makes filming things like shops and supermarkets and walks in Moscow easier with my following camera. It's probably tired now from following me so much that it got tired. All right, everybody, I'm going to click off. I'm going to finish exactly right on the right time. Again, thank you for donation alerts. There are links in the comments, in the description. There was people who sent to my bank. Thank you very much. It's really appreciated. It helps me continue what I'm doing, and it really proves that I'm doing something right. Watch more videos. There will be lots coming up soon, I promise. I won't get the one today out now because I'm now already tomorrow timing-wise, so thank you. Yes, cool camera. Thank you, Cartman. Bye, everybody.